Today, I'm going to show you 3 of the best graphic design portfolios that I found in 2020, and I'm going to reveal the techniques the designers have used so you can improve your very own graphic design portfolio. But before we view the masterpiece portfolios, let's quickly look at some checkpoints that make up an effective portfolio. Now, a running theme is crucial because it ties the portfolio together visually speaking, and it just looks professional and official. Next, we have the use of the same font choice throughout the entire folio, and again, this just ties everything together neatly. The portfolio should be clean and easy to navigate for obvious reasons, and less is often more. This applies to the work involved as well as the design layout. Giving some context to each project and client is an absolute must, and it's always a neat idea to add something unique to your portfolio too. Now also, it should go without saying that you need to put in your best work. But now we know what we're looking for, let's take a look at those portfolios in today's video. In the first graphic design portfolio, notice right away the clean and open plan layout of the homepage. We have a focal point here, which is an example of a project, and it automatically scrolls through the selection. Now the focal point here is interactive because when you roll your cursor over it, there's a subtle and unique change, and this just sets this portfolio apart from 99% of other examples. These small things really do matter. The navigation is very simple, with the designer's work on the left and the About page linked on the far right. Now clicking the work link, we see a list of projects displayed right here, and you're going to notice how this sans serif font has been used throughout the entire portfolio. Also notice how the color of the text changes as you scroll over it, which again is another neat thought that will impress viewers as well. It also makes the experience a little bit more user-friendly because you know which thing you're selecting. Now again, take note of the simple yet effective layout of the up and down arrows at the top and the bottom, and the other 2 links on the far sides. The design also features the project imagery in the exact same location, that being the focal point in the middle of the screen, and this is seen throughout the entire portfolio. Now, I'm not too sure about the white text on a bright light background, but that is one nitpicky thing I have about this folio. Now here we have some context about the client and the project, which gives credibility to the project being a real thing and also completely official. You should always want to be adding this into your very own graphic design portfolio. Now looking at this sushi project, we again see how neat everything looks on the screen, with lots of negative space being used. Also showing sketches adds the story to the project and shows us some of the design process. It's a handy little tip that you will want to add into your graphic design portfolio. So I hope you can see how this less is more approach in the layout really works well, and it gives the viewer comfort and also room to breathe visually speaking. So and finally, we have here some more context with the same font and the same layout of typography as the previous project. Repetition is really important in portfolios. We also see this font and this layout being used on the About page, and it should be noted that the style of having a pastel kind of color background has been implemented in many areas of the portfolio. So that was the first example, but let's move on to the next example and see if you think it's better than the first one. So this portfolio is a lot more basic in the techniques used and also the format shown, and we simply have projects running side by side along the page. With your portfolio, you really don't need tons and tons of pages. I would suggest just having a work page, a contact, and an About page. That's pretty much all you need. But also a graphic design blog would be pretty neat as well, and also it helps for SEO. So this designer's work has a very specific style, and you can see that it revolves around 3D, almost metallic kind of design, and this is exploiting a niche. It shows the designer is passionate and professional in their desired niche, plus it ties everything together really neatly. Now I do really love this style of work, and they do have some pretty high profile clients here. Also, note how the project thumbnails change as you roll over them. The designer displays the project context very briefly here on the top left of the screen, and they also keep the theme of having imagery in rectangles downward throughout. Everything is pretty clinical and has a similar shape and feel throughout the entire folio, keeping with that running theme point I keep driving home. Now I love how the designer has added video as well, which is going to allow the viewer to have an elevated experience. Now I do love 3D graphic design, and I'm actually currently self-teaching myself a bit of it, so maybe I'm going to bring you guys some tutorials in the future at some point. Now clicking the About page, we again see a clinical black on white minimal layout design, and there is some info here on the designer and their background. Now having a contact page is essential because it allows potential clients a quick and an easy way to get hold of you directly from your folio. So do be sure to add this into your very own design. Also, this designer has neatly placed their social media accounts at the bottom corner, keeping with that black and white theme. But let's move on to the final portfolio today and see how it matches up to the previous two. So this homepage of the third portfolio is really awesome. It starts off black and pretty minimal, and the cursor has a custom icon to it as well. Now once you click and drag as instructed, it actually opens up the portfolio itself. This unique touch is really neat, and it does work really well. Each project has an animated thumbnail, and you're going to notice the same font is used throughout the project titles, creating that running theme. I absolutely love these animated thumbnails. It's next level design, and it really elevates the designer here, I feel. Now stepping into one of the projects, we see the font used here again. Like the previous portfolio, this person has gone for a rectangle work examples on a white background, and some of them are actually animated too. Just take a few moments to fully appreciate the style of this work. It's clean, it's crisp, and it looks so fresh. Now the work complements the style of the portfolio really well, and I could look at this work all day long pretty much. Now taking a look at another project, we again see that font being used in a similar approach, displaying the work downward in rectangles. Keeping the same format and navigation throughout a portfolio is key for user experience and just for tying things together visually. So what do you think about this designer's work? I personally really dig it, and they have managed to excel, in my opinion, by the way it has been displayed to me. It looks high-end and it's well thought out and professional, and this person is going to gain clients really easily. So lastly, I want to leave you with a quote that sums up this entire video in one neatly packaged reminder. Now the projects and your work that you put onto the portfolio are important, but the way you display them and how you show them is equally important. The portfolio itself needs to be a piece of art and a graphic design by nature. You can find all three folios linked down below, and let me know which portfolio you enjoyed the most out of the three. If you want to keep learning essential skills about graphic design and elevating your own work, do subscribe to my channel for weekly graphic design content. But until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.